The world's oldest president is not done yet. At 92, Cameroon's Paul Biya is chasing an 8th term that could keep him in power until he's nearly 100. But as anger over corruption, poverty and rigged elections simmers, even his own daughter says, "Don't vote for my dad." In a nation on edge, Biya's final bid for power could be his most explosive yet. Cameroonian President Paul Biya is running for an 8th term on October 12th that could keep him in office until he is nearly 100, seeking to overcome frustration with his decades-long rule and a spirited challenge from a former government mouthpiece. The nonagenarian has already been in power since 1982. Another 7-year mandate could see him rule for 50 years until he will be almost 100. After joining office in 1982, he has held a tight grip on power ever since, doing away with the presidential term limit in 2008 and winning re-election by comfortable margins. He defied widespread calls to step down and has been criticised for only showing up for one rally, spending most of the campaign period on a 10-day private trip to Europe. His government has denied claims of ballot stuffing and manipulating the courts to sideline opponents. Biya rarely appears in public, fueling consistent speculation that he is in poor health. The government last year banned public discussion of the topic. In the vote-rich city of Marua on October 7th, he addressed crowds of his party supporters, reaching out in particular to women and young people, promising to prioritise their plight in his next mandate.
I am well aware of the problems that are of concern to you. I am aware of the unfulfilled expectations that make you doubt the future. I can assure you that these problems are not impossible to overcome. I will keep my word.
He acknowledged complaints about basic services like roads and electricity in the cocoa and oil-producing country. In this election, Biya faces 9 opposition candidates, some of them former allies and ministers. Among them are Issa Chiroma Bakari, recently Minister of Employment, and Bello Buba Maigari, a former Minister of Tourism. Another prominent opposition figure, Maurice Kamto, who came second in 2018 with 14% of the vote, has been barred from running. The Electoral Commission said Kamto was disqualified because his party was also backing another candidate, a justification his lawyers have rejected. Kamto was arrested after the last election for demanding greater transparency. Wilson Tamfu, a law professor at the University of Dashang, while speaking to the AP said,
The main opposition candidates are all former ministers under Paul Biya, who resigned just weeks before the presidential race. Young people see this as hypocrisy, proof that the country is still driven by the politics of the belly.
He referred to a tactic of presenting fake opponents to weaken real opposition support in exchange for favours from the president. In this year's election, 12 candidates are running and Cameroon does not hold runoffs, meaning the top vote-getter on Sunday wins. According to local media, results are expected to be announced within 15 days. Sunday's vote will be held in the shadow of a deadly conflict between separatist forces in Cameroon's English-speaking regions and the government. During the last vote in 2018, turnout was particularly low in anglophone Cameroon, where the fighting is fiercest. Maurice Kamto, Biya's top challenger in the 2018 election, has been disqualified this time, and the remaining contenders have failed to rally around a unity candidate, boosting the president's victory chances. Pippi Hughes, a Cameroonian political analyst, said,
One is left with the impression that if this mobilization is transferred into the ballot box, then change is coming. However, the reverse might be true. We have seen such mobilization in 2018 and nothing changed.
Raoul Sumotayo, senior researcher with the Pretoria-based Institute for Security Studies think tank, said,
Chiroma might perform well in cities but would struggle in rural areas where the ruling party has a strong turnout operation, fueled by patronage. The ruling party is likely to be declared the winner of the election. Nevertheless, Chiroma has demonstrated a strong ability to mobilize support to contest the results.
The presidential election comes amid growing concerns about inflation, security challenges, poor social services, corruption and unemployment. A backlash over Paul Biya's reliance on an AI-generated campaign video, as his opponents actively wooed voters on the ground, saw him rush north on his return home. Youth unemployment has been a particular talking point for most of the candidates running in the election.
It's a little bit kind of complicated. I'm still trying to observe. Well, because I had someone in mind, but which finally was not able to make it. So he was eliminated even before everything could start. So that's the person I had in mind, but now he's no more in the race. So right now I'm still trying to assess the whole thing. So right now I'm having a whole study. I still need to, study the different candidates, see learn more about their opinion, because I know about some of them, their ideas, their opinions are not real, so I need to know more of it.
Young people in the country are demanding jobs. According to the World Bank, the unemployment rate stands at 3.5%, but about 57% of working-age people between 18 and 35 earn a living in the informal sector. Although Cameroon is an oil-producing country with modest economic growth, young people say the benefits go mainly to the elite.
Since 2018, in the past 7 years, what has changed are the roads, which have become even more isolated. The city isn't progressing. To reach the west, it takes 7, 8, even 10 hours to get there. For me, things have only gotten worse. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
So I'm really hoping that we get to see a change where these institutions stand individually without influence to give room for democracy. Hopefully, at least we can have an idea of what democracy looks like in this country. Have a fair election where people can have a president to vote for and a president who can be accountable to the people and is people-centered and focus on the growth of people and not just self-enriching themselves.
Even Paul Biya's daughter Brenda is against her dad's another term and has urged people to not vote for her father. In a TikTok video, Brenda Biya said,
"Do not vote for Paul Biya, not because of me, but because he has made too many people suffer. I hope we will have another president